Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Cooking with Bubbles. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. Let's get started.
Sounds good. Wow, what a difference.
What is going on here? That doesn't look like Prosecco.
It's not Prosecco. It's a sparkling water.
Well, that's different. Is there any alcohol in that?
Yeah. No alcohol, alcohol-free, caffeine-free, sugar-free.
Oh, why is that?
Well, it's January. It's time for dry January. Give my liver a break.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan. So I have my Fresca with a lemon wedge and a twist.
I've got a little orange wedge. Cheers.
Cheers. Clink.
Still really refreshing, but
it's very refreshing.
A different sort of bubble this time.
Indeed it is.
So if anyone's got their own bubbles, they can pop their Prosecco, they can pop their beer, whatever's bubbly.
Exactly. You don't have to be dry like us. We encourage you to pick up your bottle or your glass, whatever it is, and enjoy and watch us cook something delicious today. So Lisa, one of the questions that friends often ask me is, why do we do this? Why do we do this?
Well, it's a really good question. I mean, ordinarily we're doing this together, but since COVID happened, we started doing it in our own kitchens, and it gave us still a way to spend time together and cook and, you know, have that feedback that we really love and enjoy our bubbles together. So
Absolutely.
It's great. And we get to have friends join us. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Hi, Julie. Welcome.
I'm amazed by the beautiful array of your ingredients.
Isn't that
beautiful,
nice?
Huh?
That's a lovely presentation.
So, Rodney, what are we cooking today?
So what we're cooking today is a couple of different variations of lettuce wraps. My version is from a very popular Chinese restaurant that every time I go there, I order their chicken lettuce wrap. So I have a copycat recipe, and I'm going to make that with all of my ingredients that you see here. And I think you're cooking something a little bit different. They're still lettuce wraps, right?
Yeah, mine are still lettuce wraps. It's based upon, yours is chicken, mine will be beef, but it has a lot of the same ingredients in it. It includes, you know, my ground beef, my water chestnuts, green onion, ginger, garlic, and sesame seeds.
Yeah, I think our recipes have very similar ingredients, maybe a little different proportions, but there's different directions, which is really interesting. This is going to be kind of fun to put this together today.
So to get started, we both pre-cooked our meats just to save a little time. So I pre-cooked my ground beef already. It's about a full pound. It's a full pound of ground beef, chopped or cooked really fine. Got the dog out there barking. And I also
must be a bird in our yard.
Probably could be a butterfly. But I also pre-cooked my onions, so they're in the pan. And I've got the temperature up to medium, and it's to this pan that I'm going to be adding all my sauces.
One thing we noticed when we looked at our two recipes is that your recipe says to make your sauce separately and then put your beef in, and my recipe said to put the sauces right directly into the chicken. So that's going to be a little bit different, but should be the same delicious result.
Exactly. So I've got 1 pound of ground beef, and to that, I got the onions cooked, and it's a whole onion. It says use a large onion. I measured it, so I got about 1.25 cups worth of onion. But as long as you've got whatever amount of onion you like, I think that's sufficient.
Yeah. Yeah, mine calls for a whole onion too, and I did pre-cook mine. So here's my onion. Mine's a little like a small to medium sized onion. So I'm going to put that in. So first I'm going to put in my garlic, onion, hoisin. I'm pretty much going to put in all of my sauces and spices. So I'm going to put those in my chicken over here.
Okay. And I'm going to be throwing in 1/4 cup of hoisin sauce. And I'm going to have to close the door because the dog's barking.
I'm using my frozen packaged little bubble pops things of both ginger and garlic to make it easy.
I'm gonna have to look for those in stuff besides garlic.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go to TJ's, right, Julie? They have them at TJ's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soy.
We haven't made this recipe before, so we're keeping a track of what it's asking us to do.
Yeah, I have to keep looking at
There
it.
goes the door.
So the one thing we don't put in yet is the water chestnuts. Those get added a little bit later, and the green onions. So
That's
those
right.
go later. And then sesame seed is really just for garnish at the end.
And so I'm adding all of my sauces to my pan with the onions. I don't think it really makes any difference. It's just two different recipes. I don't think it matters. Putting a whole tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce in mine. I'm adding a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar.
Here's what mine looks like so far.
Nice.
Turn my heat up just a little bit. Now that I think about it, I think I have a little bit more than a pound of chicken here.
Oh, okay. I'm adding my garlic. And Rodney, I'm also using the Dorade, the little pop ones, just for the ease.
Yeah, they're so easy. Remember to drink your bubbles.
It's not the same as drinking Prosecco bubbles, but it is really refreshing.
I know. It is very refreshing. You have to stay in practice,
That's true.
Don't lose your technique. Don't.
I know. That's true.
That's right, Julie.
It is good.
Wow, this looks
And I'm
really
adding
delicious. Smells good.
2 teaspoons of ginger. I used fresh ginger that I minced.
So that's interesting. Your recipe calls for a little bit less ginger than mine.
Yeah, I like the bite.
Mine calls for a tablespoon.
No, and it's possible because you're using chicken that you need the extra something.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've got in mine hoisin sauce, garlic, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, ginger. It also says that I can add a little bit of chili paste.
Ooh, that would be
So
really good with the beef.
Little squirt of that. Plus, we like spicy.
Oh my goodness, this smells delicious.
I'm going to show you what mine looks like in the pan. Again, mine doesn't have the beef in it yet.
This is just your sauces. Wow, that looks yummy. All right, so
because the beef is already pre-cooked, it doesn't take long. And literally to this, I'm going to add my beef.
And I'm at the point where I'm adding my water chestnuts and my green onions. So
I'm going to do that
I took a can of whole water chestnuts and I diced them. So about 8 ounces. I used 2 stalks of green onions. I diced those up, sliced them thin. those in. This recipe is almost done.
I know.
Took 1
Throw
to
my
2
green onions
minutes.
in. Throw my water chestnuts in.
Looks like so far.
And I got about a cup worth of water chestnuts out of the mix. And I also saved a little bit of my green onion tops and sesame seeds for garnish. Wow. This looks good.
It does. They both look good. Coming over for lunch.
All
Come
right.
over, Julie. I set a
And
place
to
on the
this,
patio for you.
I'm going to add my ground beef to that. This recipe called for lean ground beef. So I did a meat that was like a 90-10.
Which I think is okay because you're adding so much other flavor to it, because normally that would be too
Too lean.
lean.
Absolutely, I agree. But my most popular one I use a lot of 80-20 when I cook because I want the fat.
That's funny. We make a lot of hamburgers for our dogs, and they will not eat the 93.7. They have to have 80-20.
They like the fat too.
They do.
They want
Your
the fat
dogs are
also.
picky? Come on.
Right?
No, that can't.
So Lisa, just a couple of points for food safety. We both pre-cooked our meat, and then we both let them cool. Mine is in the refrigerator overnight. So once you reheat pre-cooked foods, it's important that you reheat them to at least 165 degrees to make sure that any bacteria that may have formed during the cool down process gets dispatched before you eat it. So that's a really important food safety step.
Right. And I cooked mine just before we started, so mine didn't really cool down that much, but that's an awesome tip.
Yeah. 165, stay alive.
Exactly. This looks so good. And it's intended just to be little crumbles that will... Can't wait to try it.
I'm gonna shut mine off and use both hands to show you.
All of my ingredients are in. How about yours?
Yep, mine are all in. I just will sprinkle on the sesame when I plate it.
Which I'm getting ready to do. I'll have to give this a try.
I'm gonna move back over here to my island.
Me too. I'm gonna have some bubbles.
I need a refill already.
Just like regular bubbles. Slamming it.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It's very tasty.
So in terms of the lettuce, some of the recipes call for bib lettuce. You can use, like I'm doing green leaf lettuce. Rodney's got a green leaf lettuce. You just wash them beforehand. Mine came pre-cut, pre-trimmed, ready to go. Iceberg can be used. However, it usually will crumble or break up a little bit. So
it doesn't bend as much.
Best.
Yeah.
Yeah. My recipe called for butter lettuce, and when I looked at it in the store, it was really short and fat. And my vision of what this was going to look best as is using a long thin lettuce leaf and put the chicken mixture down the middle and then fold it like a taco. So that's why I chose the green leaf lettuce that I chose. All right. So I'm going to scoop some of this onto...
I put a large tablespoon of meat mixture inside of my lettuce, and I sprinkled it with green onion and sesame. So that's what
when you're eating that in a restaurant, they have like chili sauce and other sauces to put on. Are you going to do that as well?
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna go simple. Okay. I mean, in a restaurant, it would definitely be lots more gooped up on it, but
yeah, and I do love the sauces that they do bring out at that restaurant that I mentioned earlier. One of those I think is a mustard, hot spicy mustard sauce, and I don't have any of that, so that will not be going in mine.
Well, it looks fantastic.
I'll put a little bit more meat in it. I'm doing a really heaping tablespoon.
You're making a burrito instead of a taco, like Rodney.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, it's hard to do with one hand, so I'm going to try to wrap it up a little bit better. The nice thing about the butter leaf is that it creates a little bowl.
All right, we're going in.
Oh my God. Mmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely delicious.
It's got just a little bit of spice. Ooh, the spice is delayed. A little bit of spice.
Can you guys
love
both
the
send
crunch
me your
of the
recipes?
lettuce. Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Please.
Oh my God.
I might have dinner tonight.
You know, the great thing about that is the water chestnuts give it that yummy crunch.
Snap.
The crunch.
I love your word, snap. And so does my lettuce. Yours probably does too.
Yeah. Well, my lettuce is a little on the softer side. So I would probably say that you want to get as crispy of a one as you can find.
Yeah. Well, I
Or
think
use
you cut
butter
out
leaf.
most of your, did you cut out most of your core? Like the
Mine
white part
already
of the lettuce?
mine came pre-cut
Okay.
in a blister pack.
Mm. Oh my goodness, that's so good.
I'm going to do the chicken also. This is so good.
I think we have a winner,
believe it.
Lisa.
No, I'm
Who
definitely
knew?
making that for dinner.
Who knew?
Right?
Good job.
Cheers.
Good job.
Well, this is awesome. Thank you.
Very good. Well, thank you for finding the recipes
Sure.
and finding more than one that we could experiment with a couple of different options. Awesome.
Maybe next time you guys can make your own egg rolls.
Yeah.
Slow your roll. Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for us for today. We want to thank everyone for joining. Please visit our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, and subscribe so that you get a notice whenever we post a new video. And we're in the process of creating a Facebook page, facebook.com/cookingwithbubbles.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear feedback from you. And if you have any recipes that you would like to share for us to cook, you can either put them on the YouTube channel, there's a comment section, or you can email them to cookingwithbubbles@yahoo.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. Thank you for joining Cooking with Bubbles. Have a great day.
See you next time.